does light. She's swinging her arms, she's like a satellite. I'm taking the blows, I always said that I did. I'm singing along, cause I'm the satellite kid. She's back on the juice and says she's doing alright. Got me
legends, and welcome to ZWIFTY CHAT. Hello, legends, and welcome to episode 14 of... Oh, that was 15. 14. I forgot to put my thumb in. 14 of ZWIFTY CHAT. And I am delighted to have with me one of the best Zwifted YouTubers in the whole Zwifty universe. I give you the legend that is, and I'm gonna. I forgot to mention this earlier.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a crack at pronouncing your name, how you've been pronouncing it lately. Gerben? Would that be
Gerben?
Gerben.
Yeah.
Is that a reasonable attempt?
No worries. Only the Dutch can pronounce it right.
Well, I'd like to get it in. You know, I'd like to have a go. Give it a go. If I forget, I'm sure you'll be forgiven.
That's fine.
But thanks for coming, man. How you doing?
I'm good. A busy week. Lots of Zwifting and a lot of business. So it kept me off the streets over the past few weeks.
That's very poignant to my situation at the moment. But yeah, well, we've got loads of people in the chat. I don't know, lots of your
I promoted it, saying, "Okay, guys,
you did a special video promoting it, didn't you?
Yeah,
that was lovely of you.
Why not?
Yeah, we've got.
You requested it. I said, "Okay." There's a lot of people in the chat.
Yeah, we've got
Really
Killer Steven, Darren Van Dit.
Hey,
Lockie, Marky Mark, Dave B, and Gerben. God, I forgot already. Gerben, Peter, Troy, and Old Evo. So, yeah, we've got a reasonably packed show. I thought we didn't have much to talk. Wrong thing again. We've got. I thought that not much had happened in the Zwift universe this year, but not only have we got all this stuff to talk about, so we're going to do so I'll just get out of the way of my own menu, but we're going to have a nice interview with you, and talking about how you went from being a rower to a rider, and then look at the wonderful climb portals. Big fan of the climb portals. The psychology of cracking. And we'll talk a little bit about me, about my week, because I've had quite a fun week Zwift-wise. Terrible otherwise, but Zwift-wise. We'll do ranking of the climbs. Now, we were going to talk about the utter embarrassment that is Team Galaxy, but and the worst incident of trolling I've ever seen in Zwift, but the victim of that, the rider concerned, has asked me not to bring him into it. Oh no, he doesn't mind being brought into it, but he wants to protect me, and so therefore he's withdrawn.
Don't do it, Rob. Don't do it.
I really want to. It's one of the worst, just vile instances of trolling I have ever seen in my entire life. They are an utter embarrassment to the community, an utter embarrassment, and I am disgusted with the way that they've behaved at every step. So I really wanted to have a go at Team Galaxy, but I can't show the incident because the rider concerned has asked me not to. The rider from our side has asked me not to. And then I've downloaded your Tour de Zwift ride. That I don't know. You gave the impression that it was a bit of a fiasco. Something weird happened. I haven't watched it yet, although I have watched quite a lot of your rides. I haven't watched that one, but we've got that to look at.
Cool.
And yeah, so And then we've got a quiz. So that's good. It's a moderately easy one, I would say, and I think you're in with a decent chance. I try to mould it a bit towards.
I'm terrible. I'm terrible at quizzes.
Are you really? Oh, right.
Yeah. I never break top 3. Never.
Well, it has been designed with you in mind, so you might stand a chance.
So okay, I get the easy one. Perfect.
Well, yeah. It's always designed towards give the guest a fair chance. Is always my my philosophy. So. It quite surprised me. I don't know if you've talked about it a lot, but you used to be a rower.
Yeah. So I started out rowing in university a little bit. And afterwards, well, rowing in the Netherlands, as in many nations, is mostly university and college based.
Yeah.
And then after uni and college, I quit rowing. And I quit sports altogether, so there was no rowing going on.
So just talk a bit about rowing at university. Is it? I mean, I've never done it like in a proper, in a team environment anyway. So is it? What's the? I mean, I love the feeling of it. The oar going through the water. It's similar to swimming in a way, in that you get that feel for the water and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
What is it for you?
If an 8. So the largest boat there is. You see them all the time on the Olympics.
Love the 8s.
Runs perfectly, so everybody's in sync. You can basically hear the water bubbles underneath your boat, because the boat is very thin.
Yeah.
So the hull is very thin, and as you can hear, it's actually raising above the water, and that is the best feeling ever. A boat in sync on a flat water, so no choppy waves or whatever.
So you can get it is almost flying, is it?
Yeah, and that is absolutely the best feeling ever. So I did that. It was great fun on the university. I quit after.
So do you do most of your training indoors or outdoors for rowing?
Indoors and outdoors. So rowing is a hard sport, so you need to train outdoors.
For the skill.
And most of the races are held in the winter. Well, technically autumn, early spring, but they tend to hold them on 5 degrees water or something like that. It's extremely cold sport.
Why is that?
And,
is it just because it's a winter, the summer sport?
Yeah, it's a winter
sport.
thing.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And it's also a little bit of a culture thing, I think.
Right.
Creating hard men in fast boats.
Right, okay, yeah.
It's really stupid, but I did a lot of indoor on Concept 2 rowing machines.
Oh, I love the Concept 2. Is that what even the good people use?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's classic, isn't it? What could you do for, I don't know, I mean, I used to time my 500 meters.
That's why I quit rowing, because I couldn't.
Well, you couldn't do the 500 meters?
The 2000. So it was a time I took it really, really seriously. So I tried to find coaches and to get on weight on a lightweight boat, because I'm pretty tall but not that heavy. So with losing some weight, I could get into a light boat. And finding a good rowing coach is pretty difficult in the Netherlands. Again, it's a college and university sports, and that's it. And then I found one and tried to build my own training schedule. And for a year, I trained really, really, really hard to get on a lightweight, on a rowing machine, to get below 6.5 minutes.
6.5 minutes. That's 4 lots of 500. Let me see. So that's about 135 per 500. Is it something like that?
Yeah, 142, 145. Yeah, yeah. And so with the hopes, I could get selected to the elite rowing, and then eventually a little bit higher than that. So on race day, because there was the Open Dutch Championships in Amsterdam, so I was prepared and ready, and I absolutely binned it on the race day. I didn't have the power. It was over from the gun. It's like
you just knew you didn't have it, or was just the legs
Never.
didn't respond.
It's like the legs didn't respond. I felt like the power just flowing out of me. It was like absolutely, 7 minutes plus or something like that. That's stupid. And
What, in a solo boat or?
no, on a rowing machine.
Oh, I see. Right.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. And then I quit the sport then and there. I just quit it. I just did not touch any rowing machine or any boat again. I went to the clubhouse and I said, okay, that's it. I'm done with rowing.
If you ever see me on a boat again, shoot me, kind of thing. Or
I just walked out. I just walked out because I was so disappointed in myself and in the sport. That was, nowadays you can say, oh, you pick yourself up and this and that. But I worked really, really, really hard for it. And I did not reach what I wanted to reach, the best of me.
Yeah, I mean,
and so I quit there.
There's nothing wrong with quitting, is it? It's like, I tried, I failed. It's done. I didn't do it. Chances are, if you weren't going to do it then.
I was pretty depressed with it.
Yeah, I can imagine, yeah.
And friends of mine, also from university, who hated rowing because it's cold, it's wet, and whatever. It's say you're stupid to go rowing, and we're going to the south of France. We're renting some mountain bikes and gonna ride up some hills. Do you want to come with me? And I got all that rowing power, and we rented the most crappy of crappy mountain bikes somewhere in the Vosges mountain range. And then you know them from the Tour de France, La Planche de Belleville.
Oh, that's very much a friend of this podcast, the Super Planche de Belleville.
Yes.
Favorite mountain.
Voila. And we rented terrible bikes because we hadn't got our own.
Right, yeah.
And I absolutely fell in love with the sport of bike riding.
Right, yeah. That sounds sensible. Yeah, mountain bikes up.
It was fantastic.
Massive mountain.
Yeah. So riding up hills and then riding down hills and drinking a beer.
And I mean, rowers don't tend to be light, do they? They don't. I don't. So I suppose because you're not. You haven't got gravity to deal with, have you? It's still a weight per kilogram thing to an extent, but that's only for the acceleration, assumedly, that the lightweight matters.
And the momentum for the heavy boat is the momentum too.
What? Oh, because the friction of a heavier rower, sorry. But it's not as important as, you can be the best rower in the world and be 90 kilograms. You can't be the best cyclist in the world. Yeah.
No, yeah. The best rowers in the world are really, really heavy guys.
Right, yeah.
Very tall, very heavy, very powerful. And you can see them on the Olympics. It's like, especially the Germans.
Yeah, the big guys are there. And girls.
Yeah, true. Yeah. And they're stupid fast. Yeah. So it's a great sport to watch. I mean, it's really I absolutely love it. And
indoor. Peter Windridge has just pointed this out. Indoor rowing must be even more so.
Yeah.
Oh, they must be mountains. There must be mountains competing in that.
Yeah. So when I went to the Open Dutch Nationals, I came into a pool of guys from the universities of Amsterdam. And these guys were 2 meters high and 110 kilos each.
Oh, yeah.
Pure muscle. Yeah, then you're done. That's just absolutely...
The Dutch are the tallest nation in the world, aren't they? As well.
Yeah. And they used to have... And they're still having a very good rowing program for the high end. So they pretty much... On each Olympics, there are... Pretty much, there is somebody from the Netherlands on the highest stage.
Yeah, my first encounter of a Dutchman. When I first came across a Dutchman.
They're so big.
Yeah, there was this massive man. We went on holiday, and there was this. Our family got friendly with this couple, and there was the massive, enormous man. He was giant. He was a giant, I tell you, and he had the prettiest little wife as well. She was tiny. He was a monster. And even at, I think the age of like 14, 15, he was just picking up the kids like this and just throwing them like half the length of the pool. It was just great fun. He'd just pick you up and just like, whoa. Throw you half the length of the pool into the pool. He was awesome. And of course,
Yeah,
as English, we're talking to him like, "Do you understand?" And he's got, he's got perfect English, better than mine.
we learned it from basically from kindergarten English. Yeah,
Yeah,
that happens if your country is so tiny and then you have big
right.
neighbors, so you have to learn the languages.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
But I see the chat. Indeed there's a lot of overlap between rowing and cycling because not many many people think that rowing is an arm thing,
Right.
but it's not.
No.
It's a core and a leg thing because you're sitting on a sliding bench in the boat. So you're pushing with both legs and you're keeping your core hard and stable and then yanking on the oars.
Yeah, I
to get the
mean,
boat
I
moving.
did it for the first time a couple of months ago for the first time in maybe 6 years or something. And I was surprised how like not crap I was. I was still, I wasn't as good as I used to be when I used to do it regularly. But the only thing that really suffered was my lower back. I obviously,
True.
that part of the core has obviously been neglected.
True.
But everything else, like his legs, it's a
Yeah,
bit of
and
arm,
then you're
but not
pulling too
much.
much out of the out of your back. Jason Osborne. He's
Yeah,
now
yeah,
back in. He was a pro
yeah,
rider and
yeah.
now back on the Zwift circuit again.
Well, he's
But
mainly
he was
doing
a
my
rower.
wish, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, and Drake Duell. They have a YouTube channel with Phil Guyman, also a very talented American bike rider. Oh, he used to be a rower too. But is now riding around Nice or something like that to getting pro, trying to get a pro contract.
Yeah, so it's legs, it's being light
legs,
still. Um,
legs, core, the things that makes swifting and cycling great is basically leg work and core work.
yeah,
And
I'm always
rowing is
surprised how much
perfect.
it actually helps your core cycling. I mean,
Yeah,
you should really train it specifically as well, I suppose, but
true,
you definitely get some core strength from cycling.
true. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's a great point out of the chat. It's like Swift was working on, I think, indeed was working on some kind of module for Swift in rowing machines. Yeah,
It's coming soon. It's coming.
yeah, yeah.
Well, they keep saying they're doing it. Someone posted today a message from the Zwift forums from someone on Zwift saying that they're doing a fourth challenge. The fourth. The three challenges, including the Tron challenge, and said, right, it's coming to. We like your idea. We're coming up with the fourth challenge. It'll be out soon. But then I looked at the date of it, and it was 2017.
Yeah.
But there are some
Soon.
indications that it's actually
It
going to
looks,
happen. Yeah, yeah.
it's vaporware for me. It's absolutely not.
So that led you to.
Promises.
Yeah, yeah. Do you remember that thing that they promised about the slightly weird thing about like making the bike slightly better? So
Yeah.
you can power up the
You can
bikes or
get
something like
points
that.
and
Yeah, yeah.
then get your lighter bike or it's faster moving, I think.
Yeah, I mean, what
Yeah.
the
They
foolish
did
thing that
run
they.
an experiment, right, a few years back with the ceramic 2 rear derailleur thing that you get
Oh, that was before my
2%
days, I
speed
think.
bonus on your
Oh,
bike.
really?
Yeah,
From a ceramic derailleur, 2%?
yeah.
Get
I
out of
think
here.
that was a thing. Chat, if I'm wrong, chat,
Oh
let me
no,
know. I think
I'm
that
sure
is
they
it.
did that. I'm sure they did that. I'm just saying I don't
Yeah.
think that must have been a backhander to give 2% based on a bit of ceramic rather than
Yeah, that was ceramic 2 science, buy 2 watts for 500 euros.
oh 2 watts I can believe, but not 2%.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's see what the chat thinks. I think so, right?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm sure that's what Zwift did, but I'm sure that what I'm trying to say is I don't think you could get a 2% improvement from a piece of ceramic uh, in
No.
in reality. Right, so the story of damn it, I missed the
Gerben.
Herman. Uh, so you were up the super polished Belfie on your mountain bike, and did you keep it up after
Mhm.
that significantly, or did you? Did you have?
So
I had a sort of 20. I didn't do anything in my
I
20s,
crashed,
basically.
of course,
Yeah.
because it's a mountain bike, and
Oh,
I
you literally
didn't.
crashed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
And then I went back to the Netherlands, and I thought, well, okay, we don't have hills, we have nothing.
yeah.
It's like it's impossible to explain to everybody how incredibly flat the Netherlands is. It's like you must have hills in the Netherlands because you have the Amstel Gold. Yeah, but that's absolutely in the bottom of the country. It is basically Belgium and Germany.
You have to
But
nearly
the rest
leave
of
the
the
country
Netherlands,
to get out.
it's you have to go to France or to Germany or to
Yeah.
Belgium to get some climbing in.
But
So
I mean, it
but
must be great for getting into cycling because
yeah,
some of the most of the places
the
I've lived
infrastructure,
are up a
the,
hill.
in,
You
the
live up
infrastructure
hills
is fantastic.
because
Yeah,
you want to avoid flooding and whatever. I don't know what you do to avoid flooding, but you must be very good at it. But we build our houses up on hills so we don't get flooded, and and so it just makes biking.
basically, we built a big dike around the country
Right.
and pumped all the water out.
Yeah, just
I was
put
like,
there.
okay,
Put
here you
water. Go
go.
over there. Don't go in houses.
So
Um,
and not a problem for the next 50 years.
yeah, it's not even like it's not even really a piece of land, is it? It's like some sea that you're living in. You're
Yeah,
like living in some sea.
a river delta. It's
Yeah,
basically a river delta. Swamp,
yeah,
Germans,
yeah,
they call it.
yeah. Yeah,
No,
so but it must be
so
good for getting into cycling at least, because now
yeah,
most people in Britain, if you want to do a bike ride, you've got to end the ride with a ride up a 100-meter hill or something. You're like, oh
yeah.
god,
No, you don't. You just go fast in the Netherlands. It's like continuously smash fests and people always comment to these me saying, okay, your RPM is very low, your cadence is very low. You should put in higher cadence, but that is decades of Dutch fighting against the headwinds on
right,
a single gear bike. So there are probably Dutchies in the chat that recognize it because your first bike doesn't have any gears. It's like a steel bike. The brakes is a pullback brake. So it's like it's a continuously low cadence fight against the elements. So if you go on Zwift and people say, your cadence is 70 RPM, it's way too low. No, for me, it's absolutely normal. It's absolutely normal. But you should speed up your cadence. That's better. No, not really, because it's more torque you're pulling.
yeah. I mean, there's no right or wrong answer though. I mean, there's no, people have, the Tour de
Yeah,
France champions have had between 70 and 100.
true.
It's not. There's obviously not a right answer. I mean, people they tend to have been higher, especially lately, but it's not a rule. You're not rubbish if you if you've got low cadence. But I mean,
Yeah,
an indoor, it just lends itself to even lower cadence, doesn't it? Because you haven't got the wind resistance of
no,
of being in a more upright position, which tends to be
true.
associated with lower cadence.
True. The chat is absolutely correct. It's once a year there's a headwind national championships.
Oh, really? Headwind national
Yeah,
championships. That's
yeah.
what weird
That is,
people are you? Why would you do headwind? Why wouldn't you do
I
backwind?
think who did a video on that? What's his name? Also a YouTuber and a British YouTuber who did a video on that. Who went to it because it's a pretty big thing in the Netherlands. So when the wind is like 8 or 9 Beaufort, they go to the Zeeland. There's a province in the south,
Oh,
and then absolutely hammering it over the sea barriers.
well, going at 10 miles per hour, but into a to a
Yeah,
50 mile
in
per hour wind
headwind.
kind of thing.
And sometimes they need to cancel the race because the winds are too strong. It's like hurricane. But GCN did a video too. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
really?
like it's crazy. Yeah, it's a real thing here. It's an absolutely real thing here. So
Well, I did not know that.
they announce it like we will getting a storm, and it's announced the day before the race, and everybody's like dropping their stuff and riding to Zealand to get.
So various
get
people,
into this.
I asked for some questions before the show, and various people asked about doing more outdoor videos. So Taylor May, who's a great fan of yours, and
Thank you.
Peter Twig asked about real life climbs. Is that something that interests you, or is it too much of a? Is it?
Yeah, definitely.
Is it? It just feels like a massive faff, though. Is it like, just getting the
Well,
camera attached and all this stuff?
I got the parts already.
Oh, what's that for?
That's for the GoPro.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Well, so come the
so
summer, are you going to be doing more outdoor stuff?
yeah, absolutely. Because I like Zwift. I love it. I love Zwift, but outdoor riding is also fun. But I'm more or less a summer rider, so I don't ride outside in the terrible weather or in the
No,
Dutch winter.
you should be. You should be British.
Yeah.
We hate the bad weather as well. Yeah, I mean, I just don't fancy going into a wind. I just do not like it at all. Hate going into wind.
I have a rule. I don't ride in the rain. So I commute to work by bike. So I cycle about 200 kilometers a week, which is basically a mix between commuting and Zwifting.
Nice.
My Zwift races are pretty short.
Wow.
So the rest is
I mean,
covered by commuting.
You're doing 100 kilometers a week on top of your Zwifting.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. Yeah,
Man, how many
I
did-
rarely,
how-
use,
how
I
much-
rarely use the car because if you're living in the city in the Netherlands, buying a car is absolutely useless. So the parking fees are way too high. You can't park anywhere. You can't drive your car in the city because it's locked off. Even the cities, you all know, like Amsterdam, it's like very narrow streets because why not?
Yeah,
It's,
I know a couple.
undoable.
I know a couple in Amsterdam who broke up, and the main point of contention in their breakup was their parking space that they had.
Yeah.
Like, who was going to get the parking space in Amsterdam?
Yeah, it's nuts.
Not the house, not the child, but
I think if you want to buy it, you have to pay a garage in the center of Amsterdam. It's like 100,000 euros or something like that. A garage. Yeah. It's like London prices.
yeah.
So I tend to ride my bike all the time, except when it rains. If I'm riding my bike and I get hit by
not
rain,
fun.
yeah, that's bad luck.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if rain is predicted, I'm taking the car. Those days are over.
Right, so there are two pieces of news, a few pieces of news. Let's just do the news. So the news on Zwift, the news on Zwift. Right, I need a little theme tune for the news on Zwift. So the news on Zwift is the Zwift Academy riders have been announced. Do you like doing all the Zwift Academy stuff, don't you?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's great.
I did a few videos on it.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Last year, and I know I was going to win it this year.
So you said the guy that was he in last year? The Italian.
No, I don't think it was last year, but he was in the Zwift Elite races or something like that.
Right,
And so he
okay.
was already pipped for the Zwift Academy before it's even announced. So everybody's like, okay, it will be the Italian rider. And the rule with Zwift Academy is they always choose the youngest rider. It's getting a little bit stale, the Zwift Academy.
Actually, Maddie LaRue won a couple of years ago. She wasn't that young, was she? Was she the youngest?
No, not really. I did a whole video with ages and graphs and stuff.
Yeah, I remember that actually. Yeah, that's true.
And it used to be a pretty fun thing because the Zwift Academy was sold as a big training group, and then if you want to go elite, you can do extra sessions and then go. But now it's basically a talent show. A guy I know from YouTube, another Dutchie, tried to get into it, and he got a very polite email saying you just made it, but then you're not. And very good riders are also rejected by the Zwift Academy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, before the final selection bit, or
yeah.
Well, they don't want the embarrassment of having the best rider not being chosen for the team. You know what I mean?
True.
So
Yeah.
you might be 35, You clearly
Yeah,
you might
yeah, you're way too
you're gonna
early.
thrash the 17-year-old kid, but the 17-year-old kid is far more of a prospect than the 35-year-old, obviously.
Yeah, and the whole the faff with the GCN around it, it's like, okay, yeah, I've seen it. It's not that cool anymore.
Oh, I don't want to mention this because it seems unfair. It seems completely unfair comparison because someone's John Turnbull. Hi, John. It seems to have been a while. John's asked, could Gerben beat Bane in a race? Or have you missed it already? So we have raced a few times,
Yeah,
but the thing is that I only ever do flat races. If there's any sort of hill, significant hill whatsoever, you would thrash me by a country mile. But
I get out sprinted all the time by you because your timing is better. You know how to do it. You're approaching Swift like an art form with the drafting. I'm in the front way too much. I can see it myself. Everybody sees this. Gerben, you gotta move back in the back, but because you get more draft and you get rested earlier, and then you can sprint to the last 200 meters, and then you win. I never want to sprint for you or with you. Never want.
I mean, you're not an idiot in general. I mean, it's not like you're on the front all the time. You know, you are taking draft. I would say you could just be slightly more prudent into which moves you follow. You know, can you genuinely follow Komu from
But
in the first if they're going in the first 10K?
My approach to Zwift is actually a little bit different.
Yeah, yeah.
It's more or less attack everything.
Yeah. I
I
mean, I have got a lot more that way.
It makes for great videos because I'll take everything.
Yeah, I mean,
But for me personally, I never can win because there are more clever riders like you who's staying in the back and I'll pip me on the line.
I mean, I should say I never sit in for the sprint nowadays. And I mean, on that advanced race, that was a bit different because I just couldn't make a move. You know, there was just no way I could make a move. But literally every other race, I try and make a move now before the line. Try and go solo at some point, just because I haven't got that. I've got a decent sprint, but I haven't got a great sprint anymore. Like I used to be up to like 13 watts per kilogram. Now I'm down at 10. That's not enough to win an advanced race.
I have a terrible sprint. It's like a 10.8 or something like that.
Yeah, mine's less than that though. Mine's less than that. So,
I'm not good at it. So I tend to say when you're in the race.
But no, anything with a hill, and our racing scores are remarkably similar actually. But that is only because I avoid the hills. And you shall find out in the quiz who's got the slightly higher one.
Cool. I tend to grab more points in hill climb races. Yeah,
I would imagine so. Yeah, you're an awesome climber. So let's talk about. We'll talk about hill climbs next, but just two small pieces of noise. So we had Thomas Sorensen in the Danish national 40 pluses last week. Oh, I'll just show a little bit, if you don't mind, of my video. So, but Thomas making a big move up the escalator. Go on, Thomas! The pace is really searing up that escalator there. He takes it up at 10 watts per kilogram. Gets a gap. No! Sit behind. No! But you can't hear me,
Rasmussen can't put out the power. Thomas has got a gap. Can he keep that gap? Keep it going, Thomas. Keep it going. 7 watts per kilogram. Gaining ground on Lund. Nielsen on his wheel. Can Nielsen keep his power down? But no! Thomas he's got to make that bridge. He's got to make it happen. Next to the War Memorial. Oh, Rise made the gap. Thomas Sorensen has beat the gap on the final race of the day. Shows his medal of a true sportsman. He has made the gap. Now he sits.
Now I've done commentary a couple of times before, but I didn't really like it mainly because I was I've done things like tiny races and things like that, and then you just see some cheat, and it just like spoils the whole experience for me. And I just can't, you're fairly sure, I'm fairly sure that they're cheating, and I'm just like, I can't say it because, you know, you don't know for sure, and you're on a public platform, but
Yeah.
yeah, but the Danish nationals, they've all been weighed in the morning. They're all on the same equipment, so you know that it's real. You know that that they're just doing it. Yeah, it's all real. So you can get like fully enthused about it. You know everyone's doing it. They're all there in person. Now the coverage didn't have, just like the My Whoosh Worlds didn't have virtually any coverage of the riders for some reason. But it's obviously an awesome event that they put on. And it was great to see Thomas having a crack at it, and he really went for it. And he was
When I race Thomas, it's absolutely a smash hit. I'm done.
Oh, yeah,
it's like okay, whatever.
yeah. I mean,
he's really polite.
Oh yeah,
But
nicest
in
guy.
the end, when it's race time, it's like game on. You're done. It's like it's over. Thank you for playing. Bye bye. Absolutely.
I hope I haven't implied you're a cheat, Niall.
Rider. He's absolutely stupid good. He's really good.
Oh yeah. And I hope I haven't implied that Niall's ever a cheat. I would defend you to the hilt, Niall. I always have and always will. Now that's Niall Batty. So I've certainly never. I genuinely hope you haven't thought I've said that. Yeah. So that was great, and he can get fully behind everyone, and even when he got beaten, but he was only one position out from being the champion. So he came second in the final race, and if he'd cut that extra position, it was a big ask because there was a bigger sprinter that he was up against. But it's not bad, eh? So he did awesome.
That's fine. Yeah.
Other news is Sir Chris Hoy is doing a charity ride tomorrow morning. I think it's called something for
Stage 4 ride.
Stage 4 ride, yeah. Or 2 to 4. 2 to 4.
2 to 4, yeah.
So that's the same thing in English. So yeah. Yeah, 10 a.m. UTC.
Big event. Lots of people are in it already.
9 a.m. CET. So Chris is obviously one of the big legends of Zwift. Sorry, of cycling, not of Zwift. In the tiny world of Zwift, is also a legend as well. But in the larger world, I mean, he just is a legend. Right.
Over 2,600 people already in the ride, so that's good.
Oh wow, that is big.
Yeah.
I don't think I can join, unfortunately, but yeah. Right. Climb portals. So this week, one of your rides, and I will try and get it up, though I am struggling with all sorts of stuff today. You did the amazing Hard Knot Pass. Nice little easy ride, nice little saunter up a hill.
Yeah. But there's also it's a little bit by mistake. So I always tend to ride one climbing portal a week because it's a good training exercise. And I saw on the list that I thought it was Malunga Hill. Left over from the tour down under, so I got it all wrong. So I thought, okay, let's do an easy, on Malunga Hill.
I'm behind.
So I logged in on Zwift and I saw Hard Knot Pass,
much harder.
and I was like, okay,
Insane.
this is not Malunga Hill. But I still had some time in my schedule for Hard Knot Pass, so I did it. It was actually
here we go.
totally by accident. It's like I not intended to do Hard Knot Pass. It was like, okay, I need to do a climbing portal thing because I like them in a way. They're stupid, but also very good. And also, I like it's mixed feelings about the climbing portal.
Yeah, I mean, I've done them just because they're not.
Oh,
I meant to look something up. I haven't, but I haven't done many. But I quite like them. But I think if there were more races up them, and they always sort of intended to be.
Yeah.
Do you think like having some of the elite races up there would be awesome? Like seeing the big guys thrashing it out up there. And I mean, like obviously, super steep. You're
I
going to spend a lot of
feel,
time
but
on
that's a feeling I have. It's a little bit lazy of
Right,
Swift
yeah,
to
yeah.
implement them.
I think that's probably what they think as well, that it just doesn't look that good. Or
Yeah, and a lot of comments I did Norton Summit because I really wanted to do it because I want to match my time with Duran Rider because that is his thing, right? Norton Summit. It's making videos all the time about it. And when I matched the Strava segment with the Swift climbing portal segment, it doesn't. It's not correct. It's like a totally different climb.
well,
Uh,
I mentioned this on your comment section that Hard Not Pass is quite near to where I grew up,
uh-huh.
and we used to have to go over there. For some reason, we used to try and drive over it. It wasn't the only road, but it must have been the quickest for some reason if you were trying to get out of West Cumbria. And in the early '80s, and there were 6 kids that we had, 6 of us in the car plus my mum. So we'd have to get out of the car at the steep sections, where it go up to like 20. It goes up to like 25. I think it even goes up even higher than that. It did feel.
30.
I think it goes up to 30.
A friend of mine says it goes up with 30
Yeah.
if you in one of those bends you can
Yeah,
get it
yeah.
to 30. Yeah,
So we'd have to get out the car, and the bigger ones would have to push the car
yeah.
up the steep. And it was all planned. It was like loads of people doing it. It was like, yep, you can't have 7 passengers in a car going over Hard Not Pass. So that is Niall did it in 9 minutes apparently. You reckon? Is that the climb portal Niall, or is that in real life?
That is stupid quick.
Yeah, that climb is designed for Niall though, isn't he?
Oh man,
It's
that
like
is so
super light.
good. I was like, what, 5 minutes quicker than the second best. So I did 11:23 or
Wow,
something like
that's
that.
pretty awesome. Yeah. But yeah,
And then
it's
there was a
super.
guy who was like, okay, put it in 9 minutes. 9 minutes, it's insane power.
Yeah, yeah.
Great night, fantastic ride, yeah. But it was actually by accident. So, and I think I was the first one that uploaded a video because there wasn't even an official Strava segment yet
Oh,
of
really?
Zwift from the Zwift. Yeah.
Oh,
So when I uploaded the video, I did not think anything of it really, and it now exploded. It's over 8,000 views.
8,000.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I thought you said 8,000. 8,000 views.
Eight,
Wow.
eight. Yeah,
Blimey.
yeah, and rising. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
wow.
absolutely. Lots of people are commenting on it. I did the real thing. You should do the real thing. Real thing is harder. Come to England, do the real thing. Do the
Well,
Vet Witten. There's another pass that is even worse.
if you do, I'm
Swift is
sure
nothing.
I'm sure my parents or family members will put you up nearby if you do decide to do it, and you can stay at mine on the way. It's kind of on the way if you're driving.
And a friend of mine contacted me saying, that is nothing. I fell off my bike.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people who
Truth be told, it's a simulation, guys. It's not the real thing. It's like my trainer goes to about 20. Turbo trainer goes about to 20-25% or
Oh, does
something
it go
like
up that
that.
high? I think mine only goes up to 15, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. So I've got the Wahoo, the big one, and even the highest rated trainers, turbo trainers at the Texas, would go to 25%. So yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but
like
I mean, you still have to put out the watts to get up the
true.
25%, don't you? It's
Yeah,
just
true.
that it
But
can't simulate the resistance. So,
true. And you don't fall off your bike at home because
well, yeah, yeah. And
yeah, you have to really
you can
do your
stop and
best for it.
restart. You can't restart on a 20%, can you?
Yeah, Troy has a great point in the comment section. Isn't it funny how people want to watch the videos where you suffer the most? That's true. That's absolutely
Yeah,
true.
when you said that you got 8,000 views, I nearly said, "Oh, I might give it a go as well," but I definitely will not. I don't care how many views I get.
I don't know how the YouTube algorithm works because sometimes with a video, I think it's video. It's a really nice video. It's great short, spiky race. Good video, great commenting, and then 1,000 views or less, and suddenly me suffering up a grade for 11 minutes, panting and getting out of the frame, and it's like crazy man riding indoors. 8,000 views.
It depends
I'm
what sort
utterly
of
confused
thumbnail
by
you
it.
can make. I mean, you make great thumbnails. It's mainly about that.
Yeah,
It's partly about that, isn't it? You know,
It's
it's
so
grabbing
cheap.
attention, isn't it? But
I'm using Pixlr very quickly to get a thumbnail in, and
yeah,
then
but you know, it's not like you're misleading people, is it? It's not like you're not. It might be
no,
a bit clickbaity, but you know, you've got to if you want to grab people's attention,
I'm
it's not like
I'm
you're letting them
still
down.
I don't have the YouTube game down. I don't know how it works. I mean, I'm utterly surprised by the 8,000 and writing, because one of my first videos I did, and that's when the cheating thing really kicked off. I didn't have even a camera to film myself, so I was absolutely destroyed by a Korean rider, I think, or a Polish rider, and I made a small thumbnail Zwift cheat or something like that. One of my earliest videos, 120, I've got 16,000 views on it. Very early in my Swifting career on
16,000.
YouTube. Yeah.
Oh, people are just desperate for cheating content, aren't they? People love to hunt down and cheat, don't they?
Yeah, I don't know what I don't know what that is, and I leaned into it a little bit. And I regret that now also a little bit, because I get a lot of comments. How do you see it's a cheat? How do you know it's a cheater and stuff like that?
I had a really,
So I have to explain it all the time. Yeah.
I had a really heartwarming experience about that this week in a way.
Oh, really?
One of my oldest friends, I went to his wedding like 20 years ago. You know, I sat next to him at work for 6 years. You know, we went out every weekend or most weekends. It was a really close friend. And we lost contact. He actually ended up as the player liaison officer at Leicester City Football Club. So he's had a stellar, awesome career. I've been just like doing databases and stuff. And he's been uploading his rides onto Zwift. He's been doing Zwift. He's always been pretty active. You know, he's involved in a football club, and he's been uploading his rides on Zwift, but he hasn't got a camera. He hasn't been doing thumbnails or anything, so he's getting 20, 30 views on it. But last week he uploaded one which said, "Why is this person cheating?" And he got like 700 views or something like that. Just like exploded his channel, and it meant that I found him. So I made contact with him because of his cheating video, because he did a video about cheating. It meant that the algorithm popped it up for me, and I found my old friend again on the Zwift. We've made contact. He's hopefully going to come on ZWIFTY CHAT at some stage as well, so that'll be awesome, wouldn't it? So it's really nice.
Yeah. Sometimes I get it wrong, but mostly you can see it.
Oh, what's that? Spotting them.
Yeah.
Oh, should we do a few minutes on that? We should. Yeah. Okay.
Wow. Why not? The chat demands it.
Okay. Let's start the conversation with.
True.
I've got some slides. I haven't had time to change everything, so I'm just going to change them in real time. Real time slide changing. Slides, episode 14. Right. This round, this is called cheat or not. Cheat? Is it a cheat or is it not? So your views, and you can talk around it if you want, or you can just say yes, that's cheating or not. But so someone has their age for their age, they are doing better than world record power. So your 60 plus guy who's doing 20, who's doing 6 watts per kilogram for 20 minutes. Is he a cheat or?
Devo Dutchy Turbo. And then when he enters a race, he goes into the cheating bin.
Right. But is it cheating if you do 2 Zwift or 2 Watopia?
Yeah, that's debatable.
Right.
I race these things, so I consider them races. A lot of people don't, so they always fight me in the comment section.
Well, what I say is they're giving trophies. Oh, are the audio levels okay, by the way? I need to check if the audio, one of us might not have been able to be heard for the last 20 minutes for all I know.
No, it's fine.
What I say is they're giving out trophies to the first people across the line. So
It's a race.
it's a race. That's a race. So, and if you're doing that,
When,
if you're
when
surging,
some guy like that does that, you're a cheater in my league.
yeah, if you stay with
Sorry.
the front group, you're surging
No,
when
I'm not
there's a
staying in the
surge.
front group, even pulling the front group. That's why it's
Yeah.
I'm triggered by cheats because very early in my Swift career, when it just started out finding out how the platform works, I was riding really hard, but I got destroyed every time by front groups that pulled away from me with stupid amounts of power. And that nearly killed my motivation to go on Swift to stay on Swift.
Yeah, I mean, it really,
It's better now. It used to be in the recent past, it used to be the wild, wild west on cheating. It's now better, I think.
I'm still seeing a lot of it. And I don't know whether
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's e-bikes. I mean, you don't get as much of the Z Power riders, do you, in proper races?
No.
Though in non Zwift, in the
Yesterday,
if you
I
do
don't
Swift
have
races.
I don't have the footage. Terribly, my screen recorder conked out on me. Yesterday, I did the smallest TT, the LaGuardia loop,
Oh yeah,
and that's a 5-minute effort.
right.
I was absolutely hammering it halfway with close to 400 watts, and I on my TT bike, and I got passed by a Finnish guy on a regular bike with doing flat 7.1 watts to kilo flat.
Yeah.
And there were only 3 people in the race, so he won. I got deducted points deducted on the Swift racing score, coming in second. And I didn't have the footage. It was a terrible day. It was a terrible day. It was not good.
Man. Yeah, I mean it is still a scourge, and I think Zwift is more of a clown show than the other platforms in this respect.
Yeah, the other platforms take it more seriously, but they feel more floaty. So I cannot. People recommend, try IndyVelo, try Ruby, but they feel so not grounded enough for me. And
Yeah, what I saw this week, a week or so ago, was Bike Terror. Have you seen that? And the
yeah,
graphics are weird, but the
yeah,
physics look pretty good.
yeah, and also it's browser based.
Oh right, oh right.
Mhm.
So yeah,
That's really good.
yeah. So
The
laptops, no problem.
Jonathan Crane, what's his name? The American guy you have on the show.
Yeah. I love Jonathan Crane. Yeah.
Yeah, he's absolutely fantastic because he made a video about it.
Yeah.
And he did a really good series on Swift alternatives. And he's also a very powerful rider, so he knows what he's talking about. It's like,
Yeah, I mean,
but the cheating, I have a rule: the later the night. So in Central European time, the later the night, the more cheaters you have. So
right, okay.
yeah, it's insane.
Because it
It's
brings
like,
in. I mean, there are. I don't like to
especially
generalize.
the old ACAT was absolutely late night racing. The ACAT was absolutely wild west. It's
Yeah.
insane. It's like the racing score helps a little bit, but that was nuts. We had cheaters from all around the world coming in together and absolutely destroying the field. It's like
Okay, next one.
but hey, I did make a mistake because I got beat by a Belgian guy doing flat out 5 watts to kilo, very stable. I thought, oh, that's a cheat, but no, he's a pro.
Yeah.
Sometimes I got it wrong, but
Yeah. Yeah.
you
I
can
mean,
see it. A cheat detector, quick. You can see it. They're always in the front. They're doing the very steady high power. There's very little fluctuation in the watts a kilo output.
yeah. I did a proper race yesterday. I think it was Volcano Flat, and someone was doing a power. It was that kind of order of power, and it's like 5 watts per kilogram for 20 minutes. But he also sprinted away from the group, but so he wasn't like flat. He sprinted away from the group on the hairpins on Volcano Flat, and then he was banging out 5 watts per kilogram, and I was like, well, he just looks good. But then afterwards, I looked at his profile, and it was like his second race or something. And then, you never know, do you? He just might be that good, and it's the first time he's done it. But the less history that they've got, the more it makes you feel, oh bloody hell, he was probably cheating. But maybe he wasn't. I don't know. I didn't feel at the time he was cheating. It was only like looking at his history. It was like, okay, 4th race in. Really?
I tend to help. I tend to now to hold back a little bit on that kind of content, because I think I've made my point somewhere. Because
you've made the point once or twice.
You made the point, yeah. And,
which is why I don't want to stick. I don't want to stick. Let's do this. Let's
move on.
Yeah.
Okay,
sticky watts.
Swift Power is the tool I use to get a really good double checking. Because
sticky watts, easy to spot, and it's definitely gaining an unfair advantage. Yeah, can we both agree?
Yeah, I saw it happen on the Libby Hill. It's like putting out 15 watts and then 0, and then 15 watts a kilo.
One of the people in my Discord group, he did a race this week, and he really hammered it. And a group got away from him. It was on the Classic, and he was perfectly fine about it. It was like, these two guys went away, and they won, and I looked when I was watching his video. I was like, that looks a bit weird, and I went and had a look at the file, and one of them was sticky wine, and he would have won. I mean, he didn't mind. He was like, I lost. They were better than me, but he would have won. I think he would have won if it wasn't for the sticky watts guy at the front. And like, why can't they stop it? Really annoying. They should be able to stop it. Right.
True.
Those who change their weight.
Also,
sorry.
It shouldn't be that hard to detect guys on Swift Power in a race and saying you're not allowed in a race. Because,
Z Power, you can get sticky watts not on Z Power. You can get sticky watts on pedals.
On the Uturbo, yeah.
It's mainly on pedals, but not only. I'm not saying only. People go mad if I say only pedals. They're like, no, pedals are great. I'm like, yeah, okay, they're great, except you can do sticky watts, and you can up the power on them, and they are more accurate maybe in general, but you can cheat with them miles easier.
Yeah, this is definitely a cheat.
Oh, do you use pedals? Do you use pedals or trainer power?
Trainer power.
Yeah, okay.
I'm too poor for pedals.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Weight changes.
The new Viveros for gravel look very tempting to me.
Oh.
Axioma Viveros for gravel look really good for me, and I hope they can. The power-wise on pedals, the prices are dropping. So
right, I hope they do. Because I'd quite like to get them just to show people that my power is real. Yeah, just like. And the reason I don't, if I bought pedals and everyone would shut up about me cheating, they don't tend to accuse me of cheating anymore because I don't win very much anymore. But when I used to win, they're like, oh, you get it every week, and I just thought I would buy pedals to get rid of those complaints if it would shut them up. But they just moved to something else. They just moved to, you're doing microbursting, or you're doing this, or you're doing that, or your weight, or your whatever.
It's a continuous discussion, and I'm not regretting it, calling people out, but still I don't do that anymore often anymore, except for the coffees. That is something I just think is really annoying.
The weight ones really bother me because it's so common, but
they're
obvious. When people are like 20 kilograms under their obvious weight, or even I tell you, actually, what bothers me more is like people who are 5 kilograms under their and think it doesn't matter. It's like, it doesn't matter, 5 kilograms here or there. Yes, it bloody matters. I am so much better. I'm about 80 kilograms at the moment. But when I'm 75, I'm bloody awesome. And I haven't lost those 5 kilograms. But if I just kept my weight as it was, a year ago when I was 75 or whatever, I'd be brilliant again. But I'm not. I'm not brilliant because I'm put on 5 kilograms.
It's one of my rules to keep it at 73. So my weight advertised on Swift Power is the correct one. But I noticed when I dropped down to 72, it's even big improvement.
Even a kilogram makes a difference.
Yeah. But now I'm a little bit heavier, 73
okay,
half.
we've talked about Z Power, so we'll talk about that. And
Enough.
how do you feel about coffee stops? How do you feel coffee stops in Tour de Zwift rides? If you're in, I would have the
That's
caveat is
terrible.
if you're obviously racing in the ride where they give you trophies for winning, if you come over the line first, which is obviously a race.
You guys have seen examples in my races. It's like we're absolutely hammering it at the front on the hill, and it's like somebody's like, "Look, coffee stop," and get over the finish line. It's horrible. I think it's honorless. I don't know what to think of it. It's
Okay, so I like that.
terrible.
I like that idea that it's maybe not against the rules, so therefore not
No,
cheating.
no.
But it's
Technically, it's cheating the system. It's not cheating because it's a thing Swift offers in these rides, in these races. So, yeah, you can't blame people for that use it because it's a legit thing that Swift allows in these events. However, there's a question of using it in the front of the race. So my rule is basically coffee stops, fine, in the back of the pack and not in the front, because you're drafting or you're tagging your avatar to somebody who's working really hard at the moment and getting dragged up that hill. It's like towing somebody by car in the Tour de France. You get disqualified for that. And on Swift, it's like, okay, that's fine. Because I saw it at Laverack made a very nice. He's very polite at Laverack.
yeah.
But he made a video about it.
Yeah, I saw that
And
one. Yeah.
you can see there's a very polite video, but that's a video that is a little bit too polite. So you know that he was absolutely annoyed by it. So yeah. It's not cheating. It's cheating. It's
Cheating yourself at least. Well, actually, no. Cheating me is the thing that I care about. But yeah, it's underhand. There was a famous incident, and I'm sorry to throw the Australians under the bus when I'm doing a rare podcast where there's no Australians. But do you know the game of cricket? The Dutch play cricket a little bit, don't they?
Yeah, but at amateur level. It's like we won from the British a few years back, and
you've got to. I don't know why I brought that up. Bloody hell!
I think that's a national trauma in the UK.
It is.
And the Netherlands, and in the Netherlands we didn't care. We don't
game
know
that
the
you
sport.
don't even care about, you beat us up. Yeah, so they were playing against New Zealand. Obviously, a massive rivalry against New Zealand. And on the final ball of the game, the New Zealanders needed a 6. Now, a 6 at that time was very, very rare. You were just so unlikely to get a 6. And you could bowl, 100 balls that someone cannot get a 6 off. But what the Australian did was he bowled underarm. So the ball was on the ground, so that meant he couldn't. So a 6 is where you hit the ball over the boundary without it bouncing. So it was literally impossible for the guy to get the 6 off the final ball. And I think it's not against the rules because it's an easy ball to hit. But it's very underhand, and the players resigned, and everyone it was like almost an international incident over it. Like ambassadors being withdrawn and stuff like that. They still bring it up even though it's like 40 years ago. And I like to stir the pot by bringing it up if I can. Australian Kiwi relations. So it's kind of like that, underhand but not against the rules, is my view.
Exactly.
Right, that's all we've got to say about cheating, I think. Though I would like to tear into the Galaxy riders a bit. if the rider concerns change his mind.
There are some legendary groups.
And it's in the chat. If you change your mind, I wouldn't mind having a rip into Galaxy for their absolutely disgraceful behaviour against you. Right. What else we got? So we've got your Tour de Zwift ride, and
Yeah.
let's find that then. I haven't watched this, unfortunately.
Sure.
Oh, where's it gone?
Did you delete it, Rob?
Oh no!
Oh,
Oh
goody.
man, I made a massive video of it. Right, it's uncut, I'm afraid. So you're gonna have to. We can't watch it all, obviously. So you're gonna have to tell me where to go.
Please don't, but, okay,
Tell me where to go. So it's Tour de
Yeah,
Zwift,
to-
London Flat. This is where Thomas did his race. He had 2 laps. Is this 1 lap?
This is 1 lap. So the thing is with this race, this was the very first stage of the Tour de Zwift, and I believe it was one of my first. This is the first video I did of the Tour de Zwift, and I did not know at the moment that a pre-made group was hell bent on destroying the field from the gun, and that was these guys from the KWCC Racing Club, something like that. You see them flying out of the pen with blistering speed. And that was absolutely, it's a great video. I loved it. Because this is what makes Zwift racing so much fun.
Oh, there they go at the front.
There they go. It's absolutely insane speed. It was absolutely nuts. And they apparently chatted with each other before the race, saying, okay, we're going to destroy the field. We're going to do everything in our power to absolutely hammer it from the gun and to see who drops. And I, being me, chasing everything down, I chased them before I gave up a little bit. But what did happen is I'm running Zwift at cheap. So, for instance, this is my this is my stand where I film my videos on. So this is my
nice. I love it.
And my riser of my front wheel is not a certified riser, but some old Star Wars books, because Star Wars is now a little bit.
What?
So
we will not have any. We'll not have any anti-Star Wars content on my podcast.
I'm not anti-Star Wars. It's horrible. But what happened is, you see my bike swaying left and right, and then I think just before we go into Richmond Park, I fell off the bike because my books that held up my bike dropped.
Oh,
so
what, just here?
So I had to correct the video filming me
Oh, have I missed it?
doing 400 watts. No, it's a little bit further. So you can see it in the rest of the video.
It does look like it's rocking quite a lot. You look like you're on a rocket.
Yeah. That's because that's
the books
it's
are going
unstable by the books, so it's leaning on the books.
I think you've maybe embraced the power of the dark side, and that was coming through the books into the bike.
The Sith Lord of Zwift. So it happens somewhere here in Richmond Park. There is the full video is stage 1, and you can look it up on my channel.
Oh no, we've got to see the falling off bit. Is it dramatic or is it just a bit?
Well, it's a pretty well, because I had to. It is somewhere around here because they kept on attacking. You can see guys flying off the front because I'm doing pretty high power in the group. See, 380 watts right now, something like that.
That is enormous, actually. That's even before the hill. Oh man.
Yeah. So to stay in the front, and you see my bike swaying and swaying and swaying. I think around here, maybe a little bit later, I'm dropping my phone, so I have to correct that too.
Oh yeah, it's gone. That looks like it's going.
That's good. Not good here. Just toying with my phone while doing. I got falling off. There we go.
Oh my god!
Correcting it here while doing.
Are you still riding?
Yeah, I'm still riding.
Well, because the fork's just fallen onto the floor or something.
Yeah. So I'm doing 386 watts and correcting my phone.
So did you just have to carry on with your fork on the floor?
Yeah. My front wheel fell on the floor, so my bike dropped. I got my risers.
So you have got a front wheel on.
Yeah. But my I'm leaning a little bit back on my bike while doing Zwift, so I can tend to like it.
Oh, okay. So you've got a front wheel on some books, just a few
Yeah,
books.
yeah,
Oh, I
yeah,
imagined you had a massive stack of books, which just
no,
seemed
no, no,
weird.
no, no,
Like instead of a front wheel.
no. I'm running a really poor man setup, so I've got my Lego tower to hold up my phone. I got a AliExpress light, and then an AT plus cable looped underneath my yoga mat.
A lot of the, a lot of the agricultural type solutions tend to be better, like a music stand for your phone, and sort of like a music stand £7, whereas an iPad stand is £150. You're like, no,
Yeah, yeah.
I'll just have a music stand. It just like it works perfectly.
Yeah, my Zwift stand is basically a set of moving boxes stacked up together, and then made a table out of it. But this was Zwift. Sometimes I rail against Zwift because it can be a little bit of a Wild West, especially in the highest categories, and then a lot of sometimes also negativity.
Yeah, did any of the Galaxy riders disgrace themselves with atrocious behaviour? Or not?
Exactly, but this
I mean,
one,
it looks
this
quite fun.
stage-
I would praise Galaxy riders for this if I wasn't aware of the disgusting attitude that they and their management have to certain amounts of trolling. Literally disgusting, I would say. The most appalling standards that they uphold in Galaxy. But
it can be a thing. So, but this race, this was definitely a race. Reaffirmed that Zwift also has its fun sides. It was absolutely a great funny thing the guy from the KWCC Cup did, and afterwards they contacted me saying, "Do you want another round? Because we will pull you in and we'll do a racing strategy." And
don't touch them with a barge pole. Do not touch them with a barge. I wouldn't touch them with a barge. I wouldn't touch you with a barge pole if you were touching them with a barge pole. That's how much a disgraceful behaviour the Galaxy have exhibited over the last couple of weeks. Disgusting. Appalling. There's just complete lack of accountability. Just like, yeah, everything's fine. Don't worry about it. Disgusting. Right. Sorry to hijack your lovely ride.
No, it's fine. It's your show.
Right. Where are we going?
But this stage is absolutely. I loved it, and it ended up in a blistering sprint at the end, which I lost, obviously. But
this was the bit that Thomas nearly dropped his rivals as well. Oh, just with 1k to go, 1.5k to go.
Yeah, it's pretty tricky at the end.
Right.
London flat is one big lie. It's not flat.
Yeah. I mean, I love the old route that used to go around the bottom of Richmond Park as well. It was often used for like the Saturday morning rides, like EVR winter rides or something like that. I used to love that. Multicam. Let's just see the sprint. Oh,
and there you go.
16 minutes? That is flying! Bloody hell!
Yeah.
For 12.6.
Yeah, it's 316 watts, and that was in a group. And people saying, Tour de Zwift is not a race, but the wattages I put out into the Zwift races are over 300, and that's in big groups. So it's like it's a drop ride or a race, whatever. It's for me they're races. They're absolutely races. So when somebody pops a coffee, then we're done.
Oh, right. Did I have something else that I did? Something else that I did, maybe. I don't normally talk about myself very much, but I think I had something else to say about myself this week. If you don't mind, I'm going to hijack my podcast to talk about me. What did I do? Videos. We did the ZRL TTT. So
Rob taking the front.
Great drop.
Yeah, we're in. Have you ever done ZRL?
No, I don't. This is something I also not.
3 more minutes.
Teams are contacting me saying, "Okay, will you ride with us, or do you want to ride with us?" But I always politely reject them, not because I don't like them, but I Zwift in my own schedule. So I put
that's the
put in
tricky
my
thing.
Zwift in my when I find the time, because busy life is busy. And then you have to, if you're going into a group, you're committing to something, and I don't want to commit and leave my group down. So I don't.
Yeah, understandable. It just adds a level of stress but it also adds a level of fun as well. And
Yeah, and on Swift Racing, the ZRL is the place to be, and W2RL too.
yeah, so in this race, so there's 6 races in a ZRL season, and you get points like in each race. The winner gets 20 points, second gets 19. So in the first 3 races, we'd come second, I think, in each one. And HCT, who were sort of our sister team, we very friendly. A lot of riders have gone between the two, and to help each other out as much as anything. And we've just got friendly relations, but a competitive relationship as well. And so they'd won the first 3, so we needed to win. We need to win the remaining 3 basically to win the league. So it's first and second, and the 4th ride on Tuesday was a TTT, and they set off a minute before us. And this is so with 2k to go, we're exactly neck and neck. So they're still 1 minute ahead after after setting off a minute ahead. They're still exactly 1 minute ahead, and we have to they finish about now, and we have to absolutely bomb it down the descent. So this was on Wandering Flats, which ends on a sort of downish.
Yeah, true.
On a downish thing, so we're sprinting down the hill, which is like completely antithetical to me. Like, I'm on a downhill, I'm not pedaling. But instead, you've got to sprint down the hill, and we won it by 1 second. We just beat them by 1 second to keep ourselves in with a chance. It was such good fun, knowing that it was such a close race against people who we know, who we like, but who we can have a bit of banter with as well. Really good
do you use strategy for that part? The heavier rider in front?
Try to, but it's more about. It's as much about heavy rider as it. What's more effective in a team time trial is having little spurts, just having people hitting the front, just giving a little acceleration here and there, no matter how heavy. I mean, obviously heavier helps, but it's that rolling through thing and not being too strict about your order. So if you find yourself with a bit of momentum, then just go through. There's no point in trying to back off that momentum on the downhill, especially if it's a slightly rolly. If it's a pure, 9% all the way down, if it's the grade or something like that, then you just get your heavier rider on the front. But if it's, if it's a rolly kind of descent, then just doing them little spurts, trying to hit it on the flatter bits.
A team time trial done right is one of the most beautiful things you can see.
It really is awesome. You'd have to pay me to watch a team time trial, but I've watched that race from about 4 different angles this week. It was just so much fun. Yes. Steve Dukes, who's in the other team, he did a nice side-by-side video. So he like cut together our 2 videos like a minute apart and made them the same time. It's really cool. Anyway, right. How about we do ranking? We're ranking the climbs. Oh my God, we've gone on for an hour and 20 minutes. I thought we were only about half an hour in. Oh my word. Time just flies when you're having fun. Right. I can't find it. I can't find this. Oh, I haven't been recording either. Oh, man.
Oh, dear.
Right. I can't remember what I've called the thing.
There is a Canadian guy. I talk about Zwift setups. I follow Bradford Redpath now.
Oh, yeah. I keep meaning to watch more of his stuff. He seems hilarious.
It's absolutely fantastic. If you're not following Bradford Redpath, he's a Canadian, so that is absolutely the newest guy on the block in Zwift. It's like he makes me feel poor,
What
and
way?
everybody else in the. But his setup is absolutely fantastic. 5 different cameras, green screen.
Oh, right.
Double LCD TVs, rocker plates, what have you not? It's his Zwift cave is something out of a sci-fi show. I think it's absolutely. I'm running basically a Wahoo. What is it? The biggest one, the Kicker V5 or 6 V5.
Ooh, that sounds quite a good one.
On a yoga mat and a End Plus cable underneath it on a gaming laptop with Lego setup for my phone.
Yeah, I
And that's
don't
it.
know how you. I mean, you must be awesome because most laptops are absolute crap for running Zwift. I mean, people say, "I've got a great laptop." I was like, "You might have a great laptop, but it's crap for Zwift because it's not designed."
Yeah,
It's
I
not
got
designed.
an Asus gaming laptop. The screen is a little bit wonky, but it still works pretty well. So
But it works. Works for you.
yeah, it works. Yeah.
Yeah, you never seem to have any like dropouts or anything, do you?
So I get a lot of comments about people saying you're looking off to the side. Is that bad for your neck? But that's the reason why, because I'm running it from my laptop. I don't have a screen in front of me. So the laptop is off to the side of the bike and the camera is in front of me on a table with the lights. And then that's why I'm looking always a little bit sideways. Which, guys, is fine. Don't worry about my neck health.
Everyone keeps saying that, don't they?
Yeah, everybody keeps saying that. But if you're doing it for a long time, yes. But my races are pretty short, half an hour.
Well, you go fast. You go fast so to save your neck.
Yeah, probably. That's the reason
Right,
why.
let's rank these climbs. How do you want to do it?
Sure.
Do you want to try and put one in each of the categories, or one in the? Let's start. Let's start with. Let's start with your. What do you think's the worst of these that you really don't like? Let's start with that.
Ventop, definitely.
Ventop.
Hands down.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You see, I've got you wrong. Do you want to put that in the bottom? As bad as
Bottom,
burrito.
yeah.
I was gonna.
No, it's a little bit up, but
Actually, quite weirdly, that is the Ventop category. So my categories are: Kaboom is obviously the best. Aero is the next best category. Tron Bike is middling. Ventop is quite crap, and Burrito is. So it makes sense that Ventop is the. Ventop is in the Ventop category. I think I would agree with you there. Right.
I did the real thing. I mean, before
did the real thing too.
Before I went into Zwifting, I was pretty much into the Gran Fondo scene in Europe. So
so you did his group.
you guys call them sportives, but here on the continent we call them Gran Fondos. So I did the La Marmotte in France, the Dolomite Marathon, the Oudtstallerraad Marathon. You see my jersey is from the Oudtstallerraad Marathon.
Wow.
I did the Tour of Flanders and all kinds of races in.
Maybe I am cheating. I should not be able to keep up with someone like you. How can I even race in the same racing as you? You're awesome, man. That's just stupid.
I did some climbing outside, but riding the IRL Fan 2 wasn't really fun because it's not really a fun climb. People say, "Oh, it's very impressive at the top with the desert-like environment," but before you get there, you have to go to Chalet-Renan.
Yeah.
Basically 6 kilometers below the top, and that is wooded and a little bit airish, dry.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it, and then you get to the top, and you're like, I'm quite looking forward to the view, but it's just like being on an aeroplane. It's too high. It's like too high to enjoy the view. Everything's too far away.
Yeah, it's not like you're riding in the Alps. You can get very nice vistas or something like that. It's like you're on top of a very high hill. So when Zwift announced this one, I raced it in just over an hour. I think in 2020, an hour 7 minutes.
I don't think I've done it in Zwift yet. I don't think I've done the full
And
thing.
I did it for the unlock, and then I quit. I never rid it again because it's too long. It's absolutely boring views, and so.
Yeah. I mean, the top is quite stark, isn't it? It's like, oh, this is a bit weird. I've never been this high before, certainly under my own power. You know, it's a bit weird having all the rocks, and it felt like almost artificial. You know what I mean? Like a film set or something like that.
Yeah. So in the Netherlands, we tend to rebuild garbage heaps into cycle parks, and that feels like a little bit like that.
It felt like a garbage park. One of France's finest monuments, natural monuments. Yeah,
Désolé pour le français, mais c'est vrai. Le fantôme, c'est pas vrai.
Right. Okay. Next one up. Oh, do you want to do them all? Do you want to quickly do them all?
Yeah, fine. Go. It's like
okay.
Like
where do you want? Where would you put the Alp?
Kaboom for the epicness.
What? Okay. Blimey, I thought we were doing. Okay. Right.
Oh,
epic.
no.
You like the epic?
The Alp between the Kaboom. The Alp and Kaboom.
Oh,
because it's an epic climb.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Right. Okay. Right. Yeah, the Alp. I mean, yeah, it's just great, isn't it? I mean, I don't like climbing big hills, but it's. You know, the switchbacks, the graphics.
When I'm going to do it, I'm saying I'm not going to do it. This is the last time I will ever climb the Alp. And then a few months later, I'm going to climb the Alp. I don't know why. It's something with the
I should do it more. I want to do
like
it more. I don't hate the Alp. I just don't.
IRL, I did it a few times.
Oh, did you?
In
Nice.
real life.
Nice.
And there are way prettier climbs. There's a small offshoot of the Alp called the Pas de la Confession, which is absolutely a balcony road where you can look over the valley and to Bourg du Sang, where the Alp starts. It's absolutely fantastic.
I meant to ask,
but it's not well known.
I meant to ask, which might be relevant later. How many of the 38 climb portal rides have you done? Do you know? Have you ticked them all off?
I did 13 or 14 of them.
13. Yeah. That's a pretty good amount. Where would you put epic then?
Mediocre. It's nice.
Tronish. I hate the epic. Yeah. I hate the epic climb. I think it's short enough that people not sprint it, but they go at the 20-minute power, but it's too long for me, and it's I don't know. I just don't like it.
It's they have some drops in it.
Yeah, I genuinely
you
like.
You can't get a good rhythm. You can't get a really good rhythm on that.
I know what you mean.
True.
But everyone, I tell you what, everyone rests on them. So I like climbs where I've got little like the New York KOM.
I don't. I hate that.
Where it's got a flat section and I can get some draft. And other people are working hard. Because I'm only racing, don't forget. I'm only racing. So other people are still working hard.
I need to be on the power all the time.
Okay.
Okay, that's okay.
So hilly, that's going to be. Ooh, where are you going with that? Ooh.
Hilly, more or less strong. Not that interesting. Yeah, not that interesting of a climb.
Titans, either direction.
I love it.
Oh,
I love it.
Good.
Yeah. I absolutely think it's one of the best. Why? I don't know. Yeah, it is rolling, but you can at the end you can get it full gas effort in, and if you're really good at drafting,
actually either way, can't you? Actually,
yeah, it's very similar, especially from the reverse side.
Yeah, that's like a 7%, straight up kind of thing. Whereas,
straight up and then full gas, full ham.
Oh, should we put it in the top? Should we put it in the top?
Yeah, put it in top. I love it.
Yeah, what I say about Titans.
What does the chat think? It's like.
Oh yeah, Titans is kaboom.
Titans is awesome. Yeah, Darren is right. Titans is kaboom. Yeah.
I think Titans is the experienced Zwifters climb, or someone who knows Zwift.
Yeah.
If you know Zwift,
That's where you graduate Zwift on. Because
when I first got on Zwift, I hated it.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
the
me too.
more I rode, the more I loved it because you can take advantage of the roll in, and you can
Yeah.
although it's not a steady rhythm, it's a rhythm.
No.
You're like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm on, I'm off, I'm on, I'm off, and you can really build up the efficiency, and it's a nice kind of, and then you've got you're right, you've got the last 1 minute or 2 minutes, whatever it is, of like pure hard effort, even up the forward.
And
It
you
flattens
know,
off, but you've still got
and
to
you know,
keep it down because everyone knows
and
that's
you
the
know
place to get
when
the
you
gap.
race often enough, often enough, you can see people preparing themselves for the last few hundred meters of the climb on both sides
Yeah.
to get to smash everything
Oh, I
out of
didn't
it.
think
I
we'd
don't
agree
know.
so much on this. I thought you'd be anti Titans and pro
No.
Ventop. Volcano. I think I'm just going to wang it straight in the top for you, am I?
Really?
I thought that was the info I was fed.
I hate volcano. You have to. I hate the volcano when I started out swifting because I got dropped all the time on that one. But now I know how to pace it, so it's just above Tron. I like it for the effort you have to do.
Yeah, Lee Baxter, I think it was, said that you'd go that would you be your favourite. So sorry, Lee, you're not right.
Yeah, volcano's arrow. Yeah, it's I agree with Darren on that one. Yeah.
Okay. Leg snapper.
I get nothing with the leg snapper. It's a small effort.
Not really a climb.
Everybody.
Not really a climb.
No, it's not really. It's like a grid thing. It's like it feels like the yeah.
I had a very sad news this week in my group in Kaboom. The only record that I held was I was the fastest of the leg snapper when I used to be fit and a lot lighter. Obviously, I did it in 106 or 105, I think. And Thomas beat me this week. I don't know why it took him so
really?
long to beat me, but he's eventually taken my record for leg snapper. Do you want to put it down in burrito? We need to get one in burrito.
Yeah, put it in burrito because I don't have anything with it. That's
Rooftop, I really love, but how do you feel about it?
fan, big fan.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
I'm a big fan of the Homa Curry thing on Zwift and Nyokyo. I like the cyberpunk-ish vibe of it. And
It used to feel really crazy when you would descend in it. It felt like it was like just too much, but now it feels alright. I don't know whether I've
I
just
have
got used to it.
but there's the arcade. I agree with you on the arcade in Nyokyo. That feels like it nauseating because it's moving left to right and people are always attacking.
And
the
obviously
arcade.
you don't slow down for the corners, so it's just
No, never. No, it's like
too
a
much
pinball
going on. And the
machine.
bloody music.
Yeah,
If you have
like
the music on as well.
It's nuts. But I love the rooftop in a way because it's the cityscape I like, but also the flow of the climb. So if you're in a good, fast group, and I tend to do it quite often because it's a regular schedule on hill climb races.
Oh, I do.
I think I did a race with Randy races bikes together.
Oh yeah,
on,
I forgot to mention she won the national. She won the US Nationals this week. Did you see?
No, I did not. But
yeah, she won a race group.
She is stupid good.
Yeah, she is.
We were both together in the hill climb competition. I think she got the KOMs on the women's side, and I got them on the men's side.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so she is US champion now.
Oh,
that's pretty awesome, isn't it?
Great for her. Yeah, absolutely. Great Swifter.
Yeah. So, where are we going to put it? In between
or top?
Oh, we've only got two left. New York. Didn't seem to like. No, not New York. Eh?
No. Chat. Does the chat think about New York? I think it's too steep. It doesn't flow well with the. It doesn't flow well with the surroundings.
No, it doesn't. I do like the. I mean, it's hard.
It always
but
gets.
I love the fact that it's got
surprise.
A really steep bit at the end. I like that. I like that.
It always gets me by surprise.
Yeah, it's like I always like. Is there 3 sections or because it's a step, doesn't it? And I was like, is this the last section? And it's never the last section. There's always one more, and it's always the worst one. But I've got this week.
It's
I've got
terrible.
that this week in ZRL, so I can't be psyched that I buy it. I've got to pretend to like it. Where do you want that one?
Yeah, Darren and Peter is New York sucks. New York is awful. Mark. Yeah.
Go in between Burrito and Ventop. Do you want it there?
Yeah.
Even lower,
Yeah.
right in the bottom.
Yeah, Bruto is fine. It's not.
Blimey, we're going to the bottom now. Sker North. So Sker North is the gravel side.
Gravel. Yeah. I have a thing against gravel on Zwift. Why?
It's not as bad anymore, though, is it?
No,
It doesn't matter as
it's
much
like
anymore.
I was definitely in the team #pave the jungle, but they compensated a little bit on the CR ratings, the
But
resistance.
It's got a nice bit. I don't know why, because it shouldn't make much difference. I suppose because I've got steering.
True,
But I
always
always
guys are
like
steering a
the
win.
roundy
Cheating.
bits. I didn't
Yeah.
put that in the cheaty thing, did I? How do you feel
Yeah.
about? You aren't very keen on steering, is that right?
No, I'm not very keen on it because it's pay to win. So if
But
you
so
game,
is
if
getting
you
a nice
game,
bike. So is getting a nice bike.
it's true, but think about the poor people who can't afford. Nah, that's not true. But I think it's pay to win in a way.
Yeah, of course it
Sell
is,
off more Swift controllers.
Yeah.
But if you have it used, please, yes, because it's made for that. Skur is absolutely made for steering and power.
Nice, yeah.
And also, if you draft tactically, you can survive it because the ramps are steep in parts but very short.
Yeah, and they're
And
often
especially
followed by little descents, so you can approach from
Yeah.
the rear, go up the steep bit.
You can do
Drop
it
off.
with momentum.
Yeah.
You can do it on momentum. I think the south side is the most. I did it with a hill climb. The south side I did with a TT bike. I put it down a
Yeah,
very
it
good time
looks
on
like
it.
it should be TT bike territory, that, isn't it? It's made.
Yeah, true. And Skur North is a little bit of a toss-up between a gravel bike and stupid power on a Pinarello with 6.2 wheels or something like that, or a Tron. It's like,
Oh, sorry. I said leg snapper. I didn't mean the leg snapper. It wasn't the leg snapper that Thomas beat me up. It was Libby Hill. Libby Hill, I think. I think it was anyway.
oh, but also leg snapperish.
I was totally getting the leg snapper and Libby Hill confused. My leg snapper time is my proudest time. I think I got 36 for leg snapper. Yeah, sorry, I meant Libby Hill. I'm sorry.
Darren wants the grade in the schedule.
That was an obvious one to miss off. I asked ChatGPT for the top 10, and it doesn't know about things in the last 2 years.
No,
I think.
it doesn't know about the grade because it's a very recent addition.
Yeah,
I think,
yeah,
and not a
so-
lot of people talking about. And it's not technically a climb, but an FTP test.
Oh, is
It's
it
not
not?
the prettiest.
It's not a KOM, is it? Is it? I suppose it's.
Yeah,
not
it's a
KOM,
calm, but
is it?
I think
Right,
a
the
lot of
grade
people tend to
itself.
skip it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The grade. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
There's probably a reason that the Zwift has an event with the grade in it, that you get 1,000 XP if you're doing it 5 times. I don't see a lot of people riding the grade for fun.
No,
It's not a fun thing to
I've
do.
only rode it once. I've gone down it lots. I've just rarely gone up it.
I've ridden it a few times for the Zwift. What was it? Baseline tests thing series they did. That fake Zwift Academy earlier this year. To get a good 10-minute power in it. So I did that one too.
Nice. Okay, is there anything else left to discuss? Ranking the climbs.
It is a great schedule. Everybody agrees on the Alp. That's nice to see, I would say.
I think that's a pretty good list. I'm surprised how much we agreed on that. I was genuinely I thought we were going to have a fight about the worst of these climbs, but we seem to have genuinely agreed. So that's very nice.
I don't like the English climbs. So the Leaf Hill, the Box Hill, the Keef Hill.
Yeah, they're all rubbish.
get a very- I don't know. I
100%
don't know
all
what
rubbish.
it is. I don't get a good rhythm on it. People say they're draftable. It's not true for me. It's not true. I'm way too heavy for it. So
I do like Box Hill. I once beat Thomas Sorensen on Box Hill, so
yeah, absolutely.
so that's always that always brings back good memories.
Yeah, I'm trashing baseline a little bit because they gave out very bad wheels at the end.
Who?
So
Sorry,
that's
what?
why I'm not. Well, in baseline series
Oh,
on
the
Zwift,
baseline events, right? Yeah.
you could get very nice wheels according to Zwift, but they're horrible. They're absolutely the worst wheels you can get.
What, in real
on,
life?
No, in Zwift.
Oh,
It's
okay.
absolutely terrible.
Oh, okay.
So why doing that? Because now there's an event with Shimano Racing this month where you get nice
Oh,
wheels
yeah.
if you complete all the Shimano events, but it's not worth it because they're not great. So yeah.
Right, we're gonna do the
Please
quiz.
do race Swift, not for the rewards, guys. Just do it because it's fun.
Right. We're going to do the quiz in a few minutes. So the join-in instructions are there. You can either go to www.kahoot.it. I've got a feeling you're going to get a few coffee references in the names of people joining the quiz. I'm afraid it seems like that's what you're going to attract. Don't take it personally.
I
Or
don't.
you can download the Kahoot app. And we've already got 2 out
I
of
only
5.
blame myself for it.
Yeah. And I'm awfully sorry, Gerben, but would you mind talking for about 40 seconds whilst I go to the toilet?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Absolutely fine.
Entertain
So
yourself.
here we go. Here we go. Pot bank is a great climb. I think. Is that true? I need to change the picture. Did Phil clap the 1,000-meter concept 2 in 2 minutes and 38 seconds? That is stupid quick. That is stupid quick. What's my favorite portal climb? I don't have a video of it, but I did Rocket Corba, and I thought it was horrible to make videos of portal climb, but that I regret it because you can speed it up in under 45 minutes. I like it. My portal climbs tend to be a little bit on the shorter side. So I like Norton's. Mount Fuji, I don't. It's too long. It's too long. Man, best leg snapper. I don't have the time on it. I don't. It must be in a group. I can look it up for you. Somewhere on my Strava. I don't. I'm kind
Hi!
of.
Sorry about that. Have you been having
Hi.
fun?
Yeah, of course. There are a lot of questions about my favorite climb, so that's good.
Okay. Cheat. Right. Oh, that's quite a lot of people in the quiz. 13 people in the quiz this week. And are you in? Are you in, Gerben?
Yeah, I'm in.
Gerben. Sorry, Gerben. Right. So, safety with discs in. Cheat, Chris. I don't recognise many of them this week. Oh, someone's dropped out. That's not you, is it? Coffee stop. I'm not trying.
I'm stuck.
No, you're there.
again.
You're there.
Okay.
I'll give the person who dropped out another second just to join if they want to. There we go. We've got 13 again. Let's start the quiz, shall we? Right. It's called. What did I call it? Going higher. So there's quite a lot about climbing stuff this week in the quiz. The first question is, how many climb portal routes are there? I managed to drag it in. Are there 32, 34, 36 or 38? I did mention it in the I crowbarred it in there towards the end. Oh, did you get it?
I got it wrong.
Oh no! Oh no! I did mention it. I did say how many of the 38 did you do? But never mind. You were active. You were active. You couldn't like not write it down or something like that, like everyone else could have if they were listening properly. Zwift cheat. We don't want cheats at the top.
True.
Right. Question 2. Which world is this? Is it Harrogate, Bologna, Crit City, or Innsbruck? I think I took this from your ride. Oh no, I didn't actually. I didn't. You wouldn't have such an angle, I don't think, in your videos.
No.
But you have done it recently, have you? I think.
Yeah. I saw Phil Lovett's video of it. That was a great video.
Oh, I've got to ask. I should ask Phil Lovett to come on. He's great, isn't he?
It's a great comparison video between Zwift and the IRL Bologna climbing. Really nice.
Oh, has he?
And Bologna
I've
is
seen
really,
that.
Bologna is really rare map, so I like it.
Yeah. I kind of wish that it was open for normal races. Do you?
Yeah. Why don't you do it?
Yeah. I wonder if it's ever been in like ZRL or something. But yes, it was Bologna. Beautiful. It's a beautiful world as well. It's one of the nicest worlds I've got as well. Huh?
I think, yeah, it's pretty good.
Coffee stop has has come to the fore. Possibly use their coffee stop to gain that advantage. I don't know. Right, which of these is the steepest climb portal climb? Is it Hard Knot Pass, Le Turbie and Col d'Azay, Cheddar Gorge, or Col de Tourmalet? I didn't mention it specifically, but it definitely is Hard Knot Pass. It's not even close. I think the average percentage is 12, which actually seems low from what I've seen of your ride. I suppose there's that little start bit and the little ending bit, isn't there?
I think the start is at 200 meters to 4% or something like that, of 2%. That knocks down the percentage-wise, because I think it's an absolute lie that it's 12% the average.
Yeah, it looked like it was 15 plus all the way up.
15
really.
plus for all the way,
Yeah. This one is the Turbie and Col d'Azay is the lowest, but assumedly that's got a dip in the middle between the two climbs,
Sure.
so probably. Yeah. And Cheddar Gorge, I think, is the next highest. They're both English climbs, those ones, and
Yeah, they tend to ignore the laws of gravity in the UK.
well, yeah, I've been thinking about it. I researched it a bit about why English roads are so steep, because they just go over the hill generally. They don't like bother like zigzagging or round or anything like that. They're always like, no, there's a hill, we'll just go up it.
It was an old Roman road.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't make sense to me either, because it's not like France wasn't ruled by the Romans. They were ruled by the Romans for longer than we were.
They just ignored the Alps.
I suppose so. So that doesn't really make sense to me. It was like, oh yeah, the Romans. I was like, yeah, but I think it's just that we were crap. We were crap at engineering. We couldn't work it out that it would be easy. Anyway, yeah. Everyone says the Romans, but I don't like blaming the Romans. I think they were our finest invaders. Of the people who have invaded our country, I think they're the ones I like most. Anyway, right. What is next week's Z Racing route? Is it London Flat, Chasing the Sun, Out of Scotland, or Island Hopper? Sorry, man, I meant to mention this, but I just didn't. So your Z racers are going to be all over this. It kind of makes sense for what they're doing. This, I think, it's like new to. Lots of people got it. Did you get it right?
Yeah.
Oh, nice one. Ooh. Oh, quite a lot of people did. Oh,
I'm going to buy my lottery numbers right now.
Oh, but you still went down. You still went down in the rankings. But never fear.
What?
Because, yeah, you went from 4th to 5th for some reason. Safety with Disc must have been... He's only passed you by a few points. I think Safety with Disc has won 2 of the quizzes recently, and he's never revealed himself. And there's not many people who don't reveal themselves, so I think it must be someone with a large internet personality who doesn't need the fame of winning the quiz. Someone like Eric is my guess.
Probably.
But Coffee Stop, still up there. I think that might be Peter Twig. Could be Peter Twig. And obviously Eric does use the safety bike quite a lot, doesn't he?
True.
Uh,
It's a great fun, by the way.
yeah, yeah. Who is this Zwifter? We haven't mentioned him, I think. Is it Eric Lee, Cadman, Ed Laverack, or Cameron Jeffers? That's a very slow.
Is Cameron Jeffers still on Zwift?
Yeah, I raced him a couple of weeks ago. He just turned up
Okay.
in a lunchtime race that I was doing.
Okay.
He won as well, and he was on his
I
Tron.
thought
He was on his
okay.
Tron. He was really, really good sport as well. Because it was me and him, and like 3 Thai guys who were left. We were doing 10 laps of the Crit City. Yeah, and me and him were like, I say me and him. I was working to. I was like, oh, I want to be on a team with Cameron Jeffers. Oh, what do you think about? I don't want to bring up cheating, but what do you think about that? His incident.
Oh, I did some research into it because I found it quite funny
Yeah.
that he got disqualified for using a Ant Plus simulator to get the Tron.
Well,
That was a big brouhaha about it because it absolutely torpedoed indoor racing for a long time.
oh, I suppose it did actually, didn't it? Because I always thought the
Yeah,
punishment.
it
I
killed
always
it
thought
off.
the punishment was, but because he'd done something, it tarnished the whole reputation. Therefore, his punishment was justified. Is that what you're saying?
I don't think he's punished with. The problem is that he shouldn't be punished for it. But the problem is what they started out really big. UK Open Championships, live TV coverage, and they made it a very big event out of it. And then a thing happens that everybody already warned everybody about. Somebody cheated. Because that's the nature of indoor racing in a way, and that happened, and not in a way they expected it.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a minor way of cheating as well. It's just a stupid way.
It's just
The advantage of a Tron bike.
I don't think the Americans call it out of the left field.
Yeah.
It's like suddenly, oh yeah, that's a possibility with an Ant Plus simulator getting in the Tron.
Yeah.
And I think a Danish friend of him helped him with it because
Well, that's
they
what
were
he said.
in a
I mean, he said that a friend offered him to give him the Tron. So he was
Yeah,
like, okay,
yeah,
go for it.
yeah.
Give me the Tron, yeah. And without realizing,
I
he said.
But absolutely, it put a dent into the legitimacy of Zwift Racing as a.
Yeah.
And then the whole affair a few years later really put a nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
It's like when. And I suspect that the UCI then moved money reasons the World Championships also to other platforms.
Well, I mean, I thought that initially as well, and I'd be very surprised if there wasn't, between 2 of the most corrupt organisations in the world, that there wasn't some corruption going on there. But it was also awesome as well. The event was literally awesome.
Yeah, so I can't blame it because the event itself and the whole discussions and the whole thing, it's nice, but it's the most important thing on earth, and it isn't. It's like okay, whatever. It's like
Okay, right. Sorry about that little interlude.
No problem. It's like it.
Right. Kind of spoiled the flow of the quiz. Maybe some people have dropped out because they got bored. And you've got more chance of winning. Just move that down a bit.
Miguel, that is a good question. That is a simulator where you can use on Zwift that feeds false data to Zwift.
Yeah.
It's like a radio transmitter. It feeds false data to Zwift so that your avatar can run 300 watts for an hour or 10 hours, and that's what they use to get the Tron. So they send an avatar up and down the Alp for God knows how long.
Yeah. There's a guy who's doing like 4 rides per day at hour-long you know, 5 watts per kilogram rides, and it's
Yeah.
just he's a follower
It's
of this
used
channel
to
as well. I've
it's
only just realised.
officially used to test to calibrate turbo trainers
Right.
to get the power right. But you can also use it for cheating.
What about e-bikes? You very rarely hear about e-bikes, but people have got them. Lots of people have got
Yeah, yeah,
e-bikes.
yeah.
Would it be obvious
You
if
can,
someone was using an e-bike?
yeah.
It would be obvious.
Definitely. Yeah. They're capped at to 400 watts, so
Yeah, but
you can probably see it. You can probably see it on score.
oh, if you're on an e-bike, the power has to go through your wheel, assumedly.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't. You'd have to
I
be
don't.
on.
I
Are you
don't.
saying
Yeah,
that if you're on an
maybe,
e-bike, you'd have to be on Z power? Is that right? Or
most of the time, but I think with the modern racing bikes, there is now e-bike with. I'm not that educated in
oh
the
yeah,
racing
I
e-bike.
always it's never occurred to me why you couldn't use an e-bike, but of course you'd have to be on Z power, wouldn't you? I think generally. Okay, right. That's made me happier. Right. Well, we're coming.
Quiz.
Yeah, quiz. Let's get done. Which New York route is this? Is it Knickerbocker Reverse, Rising Empire, Everything Bagel, or New York KOM After Party? You're at a bit of a disadvantage not doing ZRL. Let's put it that way.
No.
Because it is the ZRL route next week.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
terrible.
So lots of people will look at. Are you one of the ones that didn't get it?
I got it wrong.
Oh no. Yeah, it's ZRL next week is New York, is Everything Bagel. Yeah, so up the com. That's not a scored segment. Then you've got the sprint, which is, and the com. I can't remember forward or reverse. Forward, which is, and then the sprint again, which is. Ooh, it's gonna be hellish. It's gonna be bad. Right. So you've moved down, but don't worry too much because the last 2 questions are both double points. So you could fly back through it, but I suspect that's Peter out in front, and it is going to be hard to catch.
True.
Right, question 7. What is the long route for Tour de Zwift next week, starting on Monday, week 6? Is it Shisha Shakedown, Lorraine, New York KM, After Party, or Coast Crusher? I think the other 3 have already been in Tour de Zwift, so if you've done a lot of them, you might be able to.
Yeah.
Shisha Shakedown, which they still spell incorrectly. They've spelled Shisha wrong in the name of their route, weirdly. So it's not the same spelling as the Shisha Climb, weirdly. Peter got it. Big lead. Coffee stopper, I think, is going to take some stopping now. But double points for the next question. How many kilometers make up the 18 routes of Tour de Zwift this year? Is it 347, 377, 407, or 437? How many have you done? Are you keeping track? Are you going for the ultimate?
No.
Okay.
I got the ultimate hat, but that is weird.
Oh, nobody got that right.
No.
Right. That could have been a big chance to. Nobody thinks it's the lowest one, do they? Everyone thinks that'll go for the biggest one. It's like the formation of the question tricks you, doesn't it? Everyone goes for the middles. Well, not everyone, but. Yep, no one got it. So no one moves, obviously. Right. Question 9. Double points for this one, Gerben. Does Gerben or Zwifty have the higher Zwift racing score? Is it Gerben who has the highest Zwift racing score? It is very close, I should add. And this
How
was
close?
true yesterday. There was only 3 points in it, so if either is
Oh, really?
yeah. It is you. I think you're 738 and I am 735.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh.
but it's only even close because I never do climbing routes.
I
if
think
I did any climbs,
I think we're tight now. Because,
yeah,
I think
very
I got
tight. But
demoted again.
if I did any climbs, that would be a lot
I
lower.
really want to get demoted back to the lower
Yeah, I
level
keep
because-
thinking that, but I'm in now. If you've done as many races as we have, unless they
Yeah,
change the
true.
methodology, it really is skewed, against people who race a lot.
I think it's the pens are so empty in the.
Yeah. I mean, the advanced racing has helped. I mean, I hate it because I like being able to
True.
jump on any time and do a Z race.
True.
But
True.
they are better.
Yeah,
At least you can find a advanced race if you've got if you
But,
make the slots.
But this is something, and the chat also noticed that Zwift is not really built for racing. So when you drop out of a race, you see 10,000 riders on Zwift.
Yeah.
And where are they in the races? They're not in the races.
Yeah,
So,
we're in the tiny minority who race.
Absolutely, and I think it's going to get less and less and less over the years because peak racing, Zwift racing was during COVID. There was events 24/7 with full pants, hill climbs, TTs, and now it's dead. Absolutely, hill climb scene. I mean, the hill climb series is cancelled, citing lack of interest. And also the TT Zwift races are also.
I didn't want to end on such a down note.
No.
I thought that they was gonna. I thought that like it was just gonna grow forever. But do you think with Peak Zwift? I didn't see what Peak Zwift was. Did you see Peak Zwift?
No. This is something that Shane from
Shane does
the Lama
guy.
really tracks. Are not really interesting.
Well, could still catch Peter. So final question, double points. I don't know where you're standing, but you're not going to win. And you have said that you might be willing to do the.
My avatar is looking really depressed right now.
Zwift cheat is climbed 4 places, so he might have some magnificent cheat where he could win, but I doubt it. Looks like it's all Peter's to lose, really. Right, double points though. Final question: which route is this? Is it Cheese Shakedown, Rolling Highlands, Seaside Spread, or RGV? It is Cheese Shakedown. A bit easy. It was obviously, but it was meant to like try and make you go early if it was close. But it wasn't really close, so assumedly Peter, took his time over that one. And although it's this, I thought it might throw people. It being the second time that the same answer has been true. But let's have a look. So third place is Lego Lover. Oh, sorry, I didn't mention that before. Safety with Bikes has come second, and the winner is Coffee Stop. Congratulations, Coffee Stop. Would you like to reveal?
There's always a coffee stop that wins.
Yeah. Would you like to? Oh, Darren got 5th, and Michael Harron got 4th. There was a large delay between the feed and the quiz. Oh, you need to open it up on a different.
Don't.
Oh, sorry, Troy. If you open it up on a different browser or something, then you don't get the delay. You get the same questions. Coffee, yeah. Peter. Can you think of a fun thing for Gerben to do? Not too long, like Tour de Zwift. Something you could realistically do in a Tour de Zwift ride without. Oh, how about how many coffee stops Gerben can do? Force Gerben to do the coffee stop. You won't do it. No, I wouldn't ask you to debase yourself like that.
That is absolutely horrible. I cannot make a video about that one because I get flamed in the chat.
I got forced to do a coffee stop. Wouldn't that be a Wouldn't that be a great point?
It's a great suggestion, though. I must say it's absolutely fantastic suggestion. But if I do that because that.
I was forced to do a coffee stop on the final climb.
I would be absolutely eviscerated.
You hypocrite!
Yeah, definitely.
No one-legged stuff. Sorry, too likely to lead to injury. You got any suggestions, Peter?
The lowest water cooler in the front group.
Peter's. Oh yeah. Oh, I'd love to. I mean, it'd be hard to coordinate, but I'd love to be your DS for a ride. I once did Nathan, for instance, where he was blindfolded, and I made him more efficient blindfolded than he was without a blindfold by saying,
Oh, really?
stop pedaling, just ease off, that kind
Do
of
it
thing.
to straight race with a helicopter
nice.
view. That is something I see pop up quite often right now. I think that Eric, Don't Get Up Cycling, started out a little bit going more helicopter views, and Miguel Stakes and Change also does it quite often.
Okay, well,
Is he?
Peter's choice is helicopter ride. If you want to throw in a coffee stop and then on the final climb as well, that's the bonus points.
As a bonus point. Okay. I keep
Okay.
it under discussion with my management.
Yeah. Any other anything that you'd like to add or say? Everyone knows your channel, obviously. There's no point in me telling you about your channel. You've got like 5 times as many subscribers.
If you don't follow me, please do. Love to be talking about Zwift and racing and with you guys. Absolutely fantastic.
It's really nice, really nice
I mean,
very illuminating about your history as well.
It's like Zwift is for me. It's like I love it. I hate it. It's like a whole bunch of emotions in one program. But I like the community. I like the community, and I must say there's an influx of new YouTubers on the Zwift subject, like the Road to A. Miguel is coming up.
Isn't he great? Oh, Miguel! What? Everyone should be watching Miguel. He's just absolutely brilliant.
Bradford rap pad is new. It's there's a whole new influx of guys.
Everyone who's in the comments is a YouTuber. Everyone, Darren, Mark, Steph, maybe not. Steph, you don't YouTube, do you? Yeah. But Darren, Michael Harron. Oh, you spoiled it. You've spoiled it now.
There is something positive going on in the Zwift universe, and this is it.
Yeah.
This is it. It's and I love it. It's absolutely fantastic.
Miguel.
You cannot find me. You cannot find me on another platform because the community is very supportive. Yeah, there is a lot of infighting too, but on the whole, the community is really supportive.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah, and there's also what I really wish for Zwift to do is that give us more room for creativity, building my own routes, my own events. Don't start hill climbs with 10 kilometers out of the hill. That's the thing. Make it more editable. Do some work on the climbing portal.
If I want to do a hill climb, I want to do the hill climb. I don't want to warm up for 20 minutes.
Yeah, the petite KOM is absolutely terrible. The lead in that is what is it? 17 kilometers lead in for that climb. It's insane.
I don't want to. I just want to do the climb.
So but on the whole, it's like I love it. I love the community. It's absolutely.
I mean, now that I'm old and I can't go out with my mates every Friday night. It's nice to be able to chat about my favorite hobby with people I like on a Friday night.
Yeah.
So I don't care how many people watch this, whatever. But the
problem is, and it's also a little bit to me is I'll take it a little bit too seriously in a way because I invest quite a lot of time in it. But also on the other side, it's absolutely a blast.
Yeah, I mean, you should have heard me screaming in that TTT. I was screaming at my teammates, "Come on, push!" If it weren't, I would have. If I'd lost, I would have crown crashed it. But you want something like that, don't you? You want the. I desperately wanted to win, but
you want to.
I wouldn't have, at the moment.
I think what it is.
I wouldn't have.
In a way,
I wouldn't have slept. I wouldn't have lost sleep if I'd lost. You know what I mean? I would just. You just want to be able to. You want to have that blood rushing through your veins of I want to win.
But also, you can feel a little bit like Mathieu van der Poel or Alaphilippe.
A little bit
from your attic or your shed or wherever your Zwift installation is.
Especially if you do something a little bit good. Like there was a few moments in that TTT where I was like, I know to hit this little bump hard.
And then something clicks. Like I like to point out with Miguel. Stakes and Change, for instance, he's really working hard to improve his strategy, his racing strategy, how he attacks things. And when it works, you can see it having effect on his whole demeanor. And I like that. It's really good.
I mean, he's going to be
But also,
he's going to be
so
good. He's going to be so good.
His
path is just like that. He's going to beat us. I think he's going to beat us both. I think he's going to beat us both this year.
But what I also like is the consistency of Eric. The road to 2A with his breakdowns of all the strategies and using of bikes and routes. I like it. He's coming up really quickly.
Oh yeah,
I absolutely love Zr.app because he's geeked out totally on his Zwift. It's absolutely.
I mean,
you have to have him on the show because
I don't know why I haven't even asked.
Insane how big his setup is.
It's always a bit trickier getting the North Americans on though because it's
true. They're on a different.
But it's like during their work time generally, so it's
across the pond.
But it's just great, isn't it? It's just like because there's not that much money in it. Oh, what's he saying?
Yeah, suggestion from Darren. I love suggestion from Darren. Mass category stars. That's also.
More mass category stars would be good. And I have tried ladder race and Troy, but I get a bit stressed by all.
When I go in the mass category start with Sari Pritchett and Thomas, you're gonna get annihilated.
Yeah, but that's nice. And
so,
I think this should be.
Says, what about us, we beginners? Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's why Road to A is so good because he covers it. He covers the. I like my brother is a beginner, and he's like, "Oh, can you make more beginners video?" And I was like, "No, I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered." Whereas Road to A does the full, advanced beginner to advanced, isn't he? So,
Camille, if you're still following us, Road to A is a really good starter because he's really tracking his growth in his Zwifting.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a beginner, but he caters for beginners.
No, I gave the AMBR guy.
Another bloody Eric. Is it AMBR?
Powerful. Yeah, it's absolutely powerful. But
he was AMBR. It was Eric who was saying who got beaten by a sticky water, and he was like, "Oh, I don't." He was like, "Oh, I got beaten by someone better." I was like, "Oh, you shouldn't have been beaten. It was a sticky water."
Yeah.
He's a cool guy. It's such a powerful sprint.
Yeah, but that's what I love about the Zwift community. It's got all kinds of levels with all kinds of setups. Racing together, so I kind of like it. Yeah. So.
Oh, that's a lovely way to end, Gerben. Thank you ever so much for being my guest. I really, really enjoyed our Friday night chat, and
absolutely,
we should do it again sometime. And but for now,
a big group discussion, like it's really nice.
Yeah. That'd be nice. Yeah, let's have a Friday night group session.
Friday night bar, Zwift bar.
Yeah.
Beer.
Yeah, I've only got scenes set up for 4 at the moment, but I think I could do 6. I think I could do 6. Let's try that. Next week, I've got Thomas Sorensen, who will be discussing his magnificent performance at the Danish National Championships. I'll also be joined by Lee Cassidy, who's a super cool guy and a very good friend of Thomas. So that's going to be a bit of a love-in. And who knows, Ben might even be back. So I thank you again. And thank you all legends for joining the chat. Been a really cool episode. Great guest. And I will see you on. Any last words, Gerben?
Right on, guys. Right on. Great to be on board here. Thank you so much for your time.